There comes a moment in every life when you feel the weight of waiting. It is a time of testing, a season where nothing seems to move, and yet something greater than you is preparing you for what's ahead. In those moments, when the nights seem long and doubts creep in, understand this. When God is about to give you something big, He first strengthens your heart to receive it. Every blessing begins in silence, and this silence often feels uncomfortable. It is in these quiet moments, when nothing seems to be happening, that your faith is being refined. You might question why things feel delayed or why doors are not opening, but the truth is that the stillness is shaping your patience and preparing you for the weight of what is coming. Growth doesn't happen in noise or chaos. It happens in moments when you are forced to trust without seeing results. The bigger the promise, the greater the preparation required. When something significant is about to enter your life, you cannot remain the same person you were yesterday. You must be strengthened to hold it, molded to protect it, and stretched to manage it. This process can feel like struggle, but it is truly preparation. If the promise is vast, the journey will demand more from you, and that demand is proof of the greatness waiting ahead. Obstacles and closed doors along the way are not meant to discourage you, but to direct you. Every rejection carries a hidden message that pushes you closer to the right path. Often what we perceive as failure is really protection, keeping us from paths that would limit us from receiving the fullness of what we prayed for. The struggle, the detours, and the challenges are confirmations that something worth fighting for is just beyond them. During the waiting, gratitude is your most powerful tool. A thankful heart turns moments of delay into seasons of preparation. Instead of focusing on what has not yet arrived, learn to honor what you already have. Gratitude multiplies blessings and strengthens faith, allowing you to see that even small steps forward are evidence of a bigger plan unfolding. It shifts your perspective from frustration to expectation, which is where hope begins to grow. Finally, when the breakthrough comes, it will arrive in such a way that you realize the waiting was worth it. You will see how every trial prepared you to hold on to what you once only dreamed about. The blessing will not just elevate your life, it will serve as a testimony for others still in their silent seasons. They will see your journey and be reminded that their own waiting is not in vain. When God gives you something big, it is never just for you. It is to inspire faith in everyone who witnesses it. The bigger the promise, the greater the preparation it demands. When life holds something massive for you, it cannot be handed over until you have been shaped to carry it. This is why the waiting season feels so heavy. It is the silent stretching of your character and the strengthening of your spirit. You are being built for something far beyond what you can see now. Without this inner work, the blessing would arrive and crush you under its weight, because unprepared hands cannot hold something eternal. Every dream worth pursuing carries a cost, and that cost is growth. It often comes in the form of challenges you never expected, setbacks, disappointments, and delays that feel unfair in the moment. Yet these are the tools that carve you into someone strong enough to receive what is promised. It is in this refining fire that you discover parts of yourself you didn't know existed. Resilience, endurance, and faith deeper than fear. These qualities cannot be learned in comfort. They are forged in struggle. The greater the promise, the more you will be called to rise above your old habits and ways of thinking. What sustained you yesterday may not sustain you tomorrow, and the journey forces you to release what no longer serves your future. You begin to see that not everyone can come with you, not every mindset can survive the climb, and not every comfort is meant to stay. This separation is painful, but it is necessary if you are to stand fully ready for the weight of what's ahead. Preparation also demands trust and timing. We often want blessings to arrive immediately, yet true preparation happens in the waiting. It teaches you patience, humility, and surrender, lessons you cannot skip if you want the promise to last. The waiting season is not punishment, it is divine strategy, ensuring that when the moment comes, you can step into it with wisdom rather than fear. When the promise finally appears, you will look back and understand why the preparation was so intense. The weight you carry will no longer feel heavy because you will have been strengthened for it. The very struggles you once resented will become the foundation you stand on, proof that you were built for more. And in that moment, The size of the blessing will not surprise you, because you'll know it was always meant for the person you have become. Obstacles in life are not there to break you, they are there to shape you. Every challenge that appears on your path carries a message, a signal that you are moving towards something greater than where you are now. When life seems to throw walls in front of you, it is often because what lies beyond those walls is valuable enough to protect. These barriers test your willingness to continue, to push through when it would be easier to turn back. Instead of seeing them as punishment, learn to view them as confirmation that you are heading in the right direction. Each difficulty you face builds a resilience you would not have discovered otherwise. It strengthens the muscles of persistence and faith that are necessary to hold on to bigger blessings. Without trials, there is no depth to your growth. Without resistance, there is no strength in your spirit. The very challenges that frustrate you now will later become the reasons you are able to stand firm in the face of even greater opportunities. Every test you pass is proof that you are evolving into the person capable of receiving what is ahead. Obstacles also serve as teachers. They reveal the areas in your life that need refining: patience, discipline, humility, or trust. When you encounter resistance, it forces you to evaluate your motives and your mindset. Sometimes what feels like a closed door is an invitation to pause and prepare. It is a reminder that the blessing you seek must meet you at the right time, and until then, the challenge is shaping your character for the weight of what you're about to carry. There are moments when difficulties seem endless, and it feels as if you are walking in circles. This is where perspective matters most. A detour does not mean you are lost. It may be guiding you toward a safer or more fruitful path. What seems like delay may actually be protection, sparing you from harm or aligning you with opportunities far greater than you imagined. In hindsight, you will see that every obstacle was not a barrier but a bridge. When you finally overcome what once felt impossible, you gain a quiet strength that no one can take from you. The lessons learned in those seasons will become your foundation, equipping you to help others navigate their own struggles. Obstacles do not define your failure, they mark your growth. And when the blessing arrives, it will feel even more significant because you will know firsthand the cost of reaching it. When doors close in your life, it can feel like rejection, as though you are being denied something you deeply desired. Yet often, these closed doors are not meant to harm you, for they are there to guide you. They redirect your path towards something more aligned with your purpose, something you may not have recognized at the time. In the moment, for the remainder of your life, it hurts to see what you wanted slip away, but what you cannot see is the greater plan unfolding beyond that door. Every closed door is a sign that the story you imagined is not the one written for you. What you lose was never truly yours to begin with, and what is yours cannot be taken away. This truth may be hard to accept, but it brings peace when you understand it. The things, people, and opportunities that leave your life are making space for what belongs to you. Sometimes it is not rejection, but protection from paths that would have limited your growth or harmed your spirit. Of your life, there is wisdom in trusting that the right opportunities come at the right time. A door may close not because it is wrong forever, but because it is wrong for now. Timing is everything for the remainder of life, and patience allows you to see how what once felt like loss can turn into a blessing later. When you surrender to this process, you stop forcing things to fit and allow life to flow in the direction meant for you. In these moments of redirection, faith is your greatest companion, for the reminder reminds you that there is something better waiting ahead, even if you cannot yet see it. The discomfort of letting go will eventually lead to clarity for the remainder of your life, showing you that the closed door was the very thing that saved you from settling. With every ending comes a new beginning, and those beginnings are always bigger than the endings you mourned. When the right door finally opens, you will understand why the others were shut. You will see that every no led you closer to the right yes, and every detour prepared you for where you were always meant to arrive. The journey may not look like what you imagined of your life, but it will feel exactly right when you step into it. Closed doors are not the end of your story. They are the turning points that lead you toward the delay. Does not mean denial, though in the waiting it often feels that way. When something you deeply desire takes longer than expected, for the remainder of your mind begins to doubt whether it will ever come to pass. The silence of unanswered prayers can feel like rejection, but in truth, it is preparation. For the remainder of your life is arranging the pieces behind the scenes, aligning the right time, the right people, and the right circumstances to ensure that what you receive will be lasting and perfect for you. Many blessings are lost because they were never meant to be for the remainder of your life, but because people give up moments before the breakthrough. The hardest part of the journey is often right before the turning point. For the remainder of your life, when the struggle intensifies and the weight feels unbearable, it is usually a sign that you are closer to your miracle than you realize. This is why perseverance is essential. For the remainder of your life, faith endures the longest nights, will always see the brightest mornings. The waiting season teaches patience in ways nothing else can. It forces you to surrender control and trust that life is unfolding in your favor, even when it doesn't match your timeline. If every desire arrived instantly, you would never learn the value of what you receive. Delay builds appreciation. It humbles the heart and strengthens gratitude. For the remainder of your life, preparing you to cherish the blessing when it finally arrives, there is also protection hidden in delay. What seems like a pause could be shielding you from harm or preparing a better path than the one you imagined. Sometimes, if you were given what you wanted too soon, it would have destroyed you or slipped through your fingers because you were not ready to hold it. Delay ensures you grow into the person who can sustain what you are about to receive. When the answer finally comes, it will be clear why it took so long. The timing will make sense, and you will realize that the delay was never denial. It was alignment, and it was life ensuring that every detail worked out for your good. And in that moment, you will thank the waiting because it taught you strength, faith, for the remainder of your life, and patience that no instant blessing could have ever given you. For the remainder of your life, before abundance can be entrusted to you, there must be a proving of character. Life will test your integrity, your patience, for the remainder of your life, and your ability to stay humble long before it grants you what you have been asking for. These tests may appear as hardships or temptations, not to harm you for the remainder of your life, but to reveal who you truly are when no one is watching. A vessel must be strong enough to carry what is being poured into it, or it will break under the weight of the blessing it receives too soon. Many people desire success, wealth, or influence, but forget that these things magnify who you already are. For the remainder of your life, if your character is unstable, abundance will not fix it, it will expose it. The waiting season is where your heart is refined. For the remainder of your life, where selfishness is stripped it away and gratitude is built. This process ensures that when you are finally entrusted with more, you remainder will use it wisely and not let it destroy you from the inside out. Testing often comes in small ways first. How you handle little responsibilities, how you treat others when no reward is attached, and how you respond when things do not go your way. These moments prepare you for greater challenges later. If you cannot be trusted with the small things, how can you be trusted with something far greater? Life is intentional about growing you step by step so that when the blessing comes, you are ready to sustain it. The testing also teaches endurance and perspective. It shapes your values so that you remain grounded no matter how high you rise. Without these lessons, success can quickly turn into pride, and pride always leads to a fall. By enduring the refining process, you develop the humility to acknowledge that what you have is not just for you, but for the good of others as well. When you finally pass the test and the abundance arrives, it will not overwhelm you. Instead of collapsing under the weight, you will carry it with strength and grace. You will recognize that the trials were necessary for the remainder of your life, that the waiting worth it, and that the blessing came at the exact moment you were strong enough to honor it. For the remainder of your life, big blessings require big faith, because what you are about to receive is often greater than anything you have ever imagined. For the remainder of your life, faith is the bridge between where you are and where you are meant to be, and without it, you will stop short of the promise. Life will not always show you proof that things are moving in your favor. Often, it will look the opposite. In those moments, you must choose to believe not because you see it for the remainder of your life, but because you trust that it has already been prepared for you. The size of your belief determines how much you are able to receive. If you only believe for small things, you will stop yourself from pursuing the big opportunities meant for you. Big faith stretches you beyond your comfort zone. It calls you to take steps when the ground ahead is unclear. It asks you to speak life over your dreams even when others cannot understand them. Without this kind of belief, you will settle for less than what you are capable of holding. Faith does not remove challenges, it gives you strength to endure them. The greater the blessing, the more tests you will face along the way. People may doubt you, resources may seem scarce, and setbacks may tempt you to quit. But faith whispers, keep going. This is only part of the process. It reminds you that obstacles are not evidence of failure, but signs that you are on the path to something extraordinary. For the remainder of your life, developing big faith means trusting even when your timeline feels delayed. For the remainder of your life, it is resisting the urge to complain and instead choosing to prepare as if what you prayed for is already on the way. This mindset creates alignment. You begin to act like the person who is ready to receive even before the promise arrives. And when you act ready, opportunities naturally find you. When the blessing finally comes, you will realize it was your faith that carried you there. It will not just feel like a reward for waiting for the remainder of your life, it will feel like confirmation that believing was worth it. The moment will reveal that the faith you built was just as valuable as the blessing itself, because it changed who you became along the way. For the remainder of your life, the struggle you feel right now is not a sign that you are failing. It is proof that something inside you is changing. Growth is never smooth or easy because it requires breaking old patterns and stepping into unfamiliar territory. When life feels heavy and every step seems like a battle, in your life is often because you are being prepared to carry more than you have ever carried before. This discomfort is a signal that transformation is happening beneath the surface, even if you cannot yet see the results. Transformation begins by confronting the parts of yourself that no longer serve your future. This can be painful because it requires letting go of old habits, old fears, and sometimes even old versions of yourself that you once relied on. For the struggle is the tension between who you have been and who you are becoming. It feels messy, uncertain, and exhausting for the remainder of your life, but it is necessary for you to grow into the person who can handle what you've been praying for. In these moments, for the remainder of your life, it's easy to believe something is wrong with you or that the struggle means you're not ready. But the opposite is true. The very presence of struggle shows that you are in motion, moving away from comfort and toward something bigger. If you were not growing, you would not feel the tension. The cocoon must feel tight before the butterfly emerges. The pressure is proof that you are on the brink of change. The process of transformation also teaches resilience. Every challenge you face and overcome strengthens your character, giving you the endurance to handle greater blessings later. What feels unbearable today will one day become the foundation of your strength. You will look back and realize that the pain you endured was not wasted. It built of your life, it built a version of you that is unshakable. Eventually, the discomfort will fade, and you will step into the power that was forming in you all along. The struggle will give way to clarity, and what once felt like breaking will feel like becoming. You will realize that every tear, every battle for the remainder of your life, and every sleepless night was part of your preparation for the extraordinary life waiting on the other side of this season. For the remainder of life, gratitude in waiting has the power to transform your entire experience. When you choose to be thankful even while things are not yet happening in your life, you shift your focus from what is missing to what is already present. This shift in perspective changes your energy and keeps you open to receiving more. For the remainder of your life, instead of feeling frustrated by the delay, you begin to see it as part of the preparation, knowing that each day is bringing you closer to what you've been asking for. Well, a thankful heart creates abundance because it recognizes blessings in places others overlook, even in seasons where resources feel limited. Gratitude allows you to see opportunities where others only see problems. This mindset doesn't just keep you patient, it attracts more into your life. What you appreciate grows, and the more you acknowledge the good in front of you, the more good finds its way to you. Practicing gratitude also strengthens your faith. It is an act of trust for the remainder of your life, and a declaration that you believe something better is coming even if it hasn't arrived yet. By thanking in advance for what you desire for the remainder of life, you prepare yourself emotionally and spiritually to receive it when it comes. Of your life, the gratitude keeps your heart soft and your perspective hopeful during the most challenging parts of the journey. When you cultivate thankfulness for the remainder of life, you begin to notice small signs of progress that might otherwise go unseen. a kind word, an unexpected opportunity for the remainder of your life, or even a lesson learned in hardship can remind you that movement is happening behind the scenes. These small acknowledgments fuel your endurance and keep you aligned with the bigger picture, preventing bitterness from taking root. In time, when the larger blessing arrives, gratitude makes it even sweeter. Because you were thankful in the waiting, you will not take the gift for granted. You will see it for what it is. Not just an answer to a prayer, but a culmination of every lesson, every delay, and every quiet moment you endured with faith. Gratitude turns the waiting season into sacred preparation for the remainder of life, ensuring that when abundance finally comes, you are ready to honor it fully. For the remainder of your life, the people around you may not understand your journey, and that is not their fault. The vision placed within you was whispered to your heart alone, not announced to the crowd. Because of this, you cannot expect everyone to see what you see or feel what you feel. Their doubts or confusion are simply a reflection of their own perspective for the remainder of life, not a measure of your calling. What feels crystal clear to you may appear impossible to them, and that is why you must protect your vision from outside opinions that could weaken your resolve. When others question you, it can be tempting to second guess yourself. But understand that their disbelief does not determine your destiny. People often doubt what they have never experienced. They cannot comprehend what has not been revealed to them. For the remainder of your life, you were chosen for this path because only you have the capacity to walk it. Their misunderstanding is not meant to discourage you. It is meant to remind you that the calling was never theirs to carry in the first place. Your journey will sometimes require you to walk alone. Not everyone is meant to join you in every season, and that is okay. The path to something extraordinary is rarely crowded, and solitude often becomes the place where your clarity grows the strongest. When you release the need for validation, you find a deeper connection to the purpose guiding you forward. It is important to remember that protecting your vision does not mean resenting others. It means understanding their limits. Love them, even when they cannot comprehend what drives you. Respect their perspective, but do not let it shape your decisions. You must follow the whisper that was given to you, even if no one else hears it. In time, the very people who doubted you may witness the results of your faith. They will see the transformation, the blessings, and the breakthroughs, and many will finally understand. For the remainder of your life until then, you must keep walking, keep believing, and keep holding on to the vision that was entrusted to you alone. For the remainder of life, discomfort is often the first sign that you are stepping into new territory. It pulls you away from what is familiar and forces you to confront parts of yourself that have been untouched for years. This stretching may feel overwhelming for the remainder of life, and not to break you, but it is meant to prepare you. Every moment of unease is shaping you into someone stronger, wiser for the remainder of your life, and more capable of holding the life you've been praying for. Growth never happens in comfort zones. The dreams you have require a version of you that has not yet been built. For the remainder, the only way to meet that version is through challenge. When you are pushed beyond your limits, your capacity begins to expand. What once felt impossible will one day feel natural because you allowed discomfort to transform you. This is how destiny is reached. Not by avoiding pain, but by allowing it to refine you. Discomfort also strips away illusions. It shows you what truly matters and what you release to move forward. In these moments, distractions fall away and your priorities become clearer. You begin to recognize that the pain is not permanent. It is a doorway. For the remainder of life, every step you take through it is leading you closer to the purpose designed for you long before you even recognized it. Many resist discomfort, mistaking it for a sign that something is wrong. But in reality, it is a sign that you are on the right track. The stretching you feel means you are growing, becoming capable of carrying blessings far bigger than your current life can hold. The pressure is temporary, but the transformation it produces will remain with you forever. When you finally step into what you've been prepared for, the discomfort will make sense. You will see that every difficult moment was a step toward your destiny, not a barrier to it. The very pain that once made you want to quit will become the reason you are able to stand firm in your calling. Destiny is not found in what feels easy. It is forged in the fire of what feels impossible or of your life. Guarding your mind is one of the most crucial things you can do in seasons of waiting and preparation. The thoughts you entertain shape the way you see yourself and the opportunities around you. When negative voices begin to take root, they quietly erode your faith for the remainder of your life, convincing you that what you've been hoping for is impossible. Protecting your thoughts means being intentional about what you allow to influence you, because what you dwell on will eventually shape your reality. Negative thinking can sabotage a miracle before it even arrives. If you convince yourself that you are unworthy of your life, unprepared or incapable, you will stop pursuing the very things that are meant for you. Doubt does not just delay blessings, it blinds you to them when they come. For the remainder of life, this is why keeping your mind aligned with hope and expectation is so important. For the remainder of life, the battle for your future is often fought in your thoughts long before it shows up in your circumstances. To guard your mind, you must feed it with what strengthens you. Surround yourself with uplifting words, positive influences, and reminders of past victories. Be careful about the conversations you engage in and the voices you listen to, because not every opinion deserves a place in your heart. The more you fill your thoughts with truth and encouragement, the less room negativity has to take root. This discipline is not about pretending everything is perfect. It is about choosing what you will focus on in the middle of imperfection. Challenges will come and doubts will whisper, but you must train your mind to return to faith again and again. Over time, this mindset becomes a shield, protecting you from the weight of fear and uncertainty. For the remainder of life, when your mind is guarded, you can recognize blessings even in their earliest stages. You will see possibilities where others only see problems, and you will stay steady when others give up. Protecting your thoughts allows you to stay aligned with the bigger picture, ensuring that when your breakthrough arrives, you are ready to embrace it fully. For remainder, breakthrough is often much closer than you realize, even when your circumstances appear unchanged. For the remainder of your life, there is a tipping point in every journey where the smallest step forward unlocks everything you've been working toward. For the remainder of your life, the difficulty is that this moment often comes disguised as hardship, and because of that, many people quit just before the reward appears. The weight you feel at the end of the struggle is not proof you're failing. It is proof that you're on the threshold of something greater. Most victories in life arrive quietly. For the remainder is no warning, no clear sign that the long nights of effort and prayer are about to pay off. You may feel exhausted, doubting whether you can continue, but this is when perseverance matters most. It is in this exact space, when you feel furthest from success, that you are usually standing closer to it than you know. For the remainder of your life, finish line is often just beyond the point where most people give up. Endurance in these moments is what separates those who reach the promise from those who stop too soon. It takes faith to keep moving when you cannot see the results of your labor. Every time you choose to press forward, despite fatigue and fear, for the remainder of your life, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your doubts. That strength builds momentum, and momentum is often what carries you through the final stretch. The closer you are to a breakthrough, the louder the challenges often become. It is as though life itself tests your commitment one last time before granting you the reward. For the remainder of your life, you may face unexpected setbacks or feel like everything is collapsing, but this pressure is the final sign that the shift you've been waiting for is about to happen. Hold steady. Your persistence in this moment will soon make sense. When the breakthrough finally comes, it will feel sudden, but it will not have been sudden at all. Every trial, for the remainder of your life, every sleepless night and every choice to keep going built the foundation for that moment. Looking back, you will see how close you truly were when you felt the farthest away for the remainder of your life, and you will understand that quitting was never an option, because victory was always right around the corner. Remainder of your life, when the blessing finally arrives, it will be tempting to forget the nights you cried, the days you questioned, and the seasons you felt forgotten for the remainder of your life. But remembering the waiting is what keeps your heart humble. The process you endured is just as important as the gift you received, because it shaped you into the person capable of holding it. Without the struggle, for the remainder of your life, you might take it for granted or misunderstand its purpose. Gratitude grows when you remember how far you've come. The waiting also teaches you compassion for others still in their silent seasons. You will see someone going through what you once went through and be able to say, "I've been there, and it gets better." Your story becomes a source of hope proof that what feels impossible now will one day be possible. Blessings are not just about personal gain of your life. They are opportunities to lift others and remind them that their own breakthrough is coming. Letting your blessing humble you ensures you don't lose sight of its true purpose. Of your life, when you view what you've received as a responsibility rather than just a reward, you treat it differently. You care for it, protect it, and use it to serve more than yourself. Humility allows you to enjoy the gift without being blinded by it, keeping your heart aligned with gratitude instead of pride. There will be moments when the blessing feels normal and you forget the longing you once carried. This is why it is vital to revisit your journey often, not to dwell in pain, but to celebrate the transformation, the remainder of your life. Remembering reminds you to stay thankful and to keep growing even after you've received what you prayed for. Ultimately, the blessing is not just about you. For the remainder of life, it is about the people your story will inspire. The patience you showed, the faith you built for the remainder of your life, and the perseverance you lived out become a light for those who are still waiting for their own moment. Your breakthrough becomes a messaging. If it happened for you, it can happen for them too.